Hey everyone, thanks so much for joining me. I'm so excited to get back into the swing of things. If you're new here, my name is Liz, and I have been doing bullet journaling for about 3 years now, and I love, love, love sharing all of my stuff here on YouTube with you. It's been a minute since I've done a video, a Plan With Me video, and that basically was just because I just had a baby, and so I've been, preoccupied, and I haven't really done anything in terms of bullet journaling. I've been really kind of slacking on that. So I'm really having a lot of fun with this October theme. I wanted to jump in and start doing an October layout, even though it's about 2 weeks till October. I was just so excited to get back in the swing of things and really do something fun. So right now I'm using my Parku dual brush pens. I've been using these a lot more recently just because I have a whole 60 pack of these, and it has so many great, great, great colors that I just love using them. Typically, I would use my Tombow dual brush pens, but I don't have as many of those, and they're actually a bit more expensive, so I only have like a smaller assortment of colors. So I thought, you know what, let's go with this one because I wanted to do a fall theme, and I really wanted to explore the ranges of colors that come into my Parku colored set. I was really happy with the different kind of colors that were offered in this, so it really gave a nice fall kind of feel. So for my main page, I'm just doing October really big. I went over each letter and the thick points twice to make it extra wide, and then I added in the leaves and just the random foliage. And what I'm doing here is actually a different kind of technique than I normally do. I'm kind of just doing these very rough, broad stroked leaves, and then I'm going through and I'm outlining them with the fine tipped end of my dual brush pen. And I really, really like the way that this came out. It's like a totally different look than what I normally do. And it's just kind of like a fun venture off of my norm. I really, really enjoyed how it came out. It's bright, it's fun, it's festive, and it makes me think of fall. Last year, if you saw my 2018 October Plan With Me, it was more of a Halloween theme, and I didn't want to do Halloween this year. I wanted to keep it just fall because I'm really in the fall theme right now, and I'm very happy with how it came out. So now I'm just kind of outlining the letters just to make them pop a little bit more. And then the space below, I wanted to fill it in with just like a giant 2019. And then I repeated the look of like adding the dots and outlining it just to, keep it consistent and have it look good. And yeah, I really like how it came out. So next, I'm going to be doing a calendar layout. I don't normally always do a calendar layout. This is something that I kind of just tend to skip. I don't know why. I usually do like a small little calendar just on my cover page to kind of just show me what the days of the week are. But for this month, I really wanted to have an actual calendar so that way I could have like a real visual representation of my month. Typically, like I said, I would do like a small calendar, and then I would do a month at a glance, which is like a vertical layout of all of the things going on in the month, which I do still like, but I wanted to try this just to change things up. Mostly, I also wanted something more visually appealing. I felt like the month at a glance just visually isn't that appealing, and I know that a bullet journal really is meant to just be functional, but I like mine to be functional and pretty. So if you're watching this video, my guess is that you probably feel the same way. So these boxes right now I'm doing are 8 by 8. And this is in a Clever Fox dot grid journal, just kind of for reference. I believe each page is 48 squares wide, no, 48 squares long and 29 squares wide. So just kind of for a frame of reference, like that's how big the squares are. And then now I'm going through the color palette. The same color palette that I used for the cover page is what I'm going to be using throughout the entire spread. And so now I went through and I looked at my other planner to see kind of like the day layouts, and I'm just going through and coloring in all of the boxes where the dates are going to be, and I kind of am just going in this diagonal pattern of each color and kind of repeating it, going in the opposite direction. I was kind of nervous when I did this because I wasn't sure if I was going to like miscalculate it and have a day end up, you know, on the wrong square, or have like a square end up where there no date is, but luckily it actually worked out and I didn't mess up, which is a rare thing for me, as I did actually mess up on this spread originally, but I cut that part out because nobody wants to see that. But just so you know, for frame of reference, the calendar spread that I did mess up, I didn't tear out those pages from my bullet journal. I simply got, and maybe I should have included this in the video actually, but you know, I didn't film it, so, but what I did was I got some of my Tombow adhesive, and I just kind of taped around the edges of, like the inner edges of the page, and then I kind of just closed the page, so that way that spread is kind of hidden, and when I turn the page you just are turning it into this next spread and you don't see it. So anyways, that was my my rant, and you kind of just got to see how I decorated the previous page. And then this is also something new. Usually I would use this page to do like a monthly mood tracker, but I haven't been doing that much recently, and so I wanted to dedicate it to something different. I am starting to read more frequently, at least when I can kind of get a minute to do so. And so I wanted to put a book of the month here because I wanted to just be reminded of, you know, if I'm not reading, to kind of just go ahead and go back and start reading again. So I wanted to read the Michelle Obama book. I've heard it's really great, so I want to just check that out. But this is just a simple page dedicated to that. I was going to decorate it more, but I kind of just wanted to keep it simple. And then I don't know what I'm doing, honestly, with this like header here. I tried to do like a blending of 3 different colors, and it kind of just like looks like a blob, but I just went with it. And so for this, it's my goals for the month. I do annual goals, but I thought it'd be good to do goals for the month because it breaks it down to something more attainable and more realistic. So I'm doing my 3 goals that are just kind of like simple goals that I know I can keep up with, but it'll make me feel accomplished at the end of the month, knowing that I've done that. So I think this will just be like a nice little motivator for me. And then I'm continuing the leave pattern. The more I go on with it, the more rough I get with it, and I really, really like that because it's just a look that is very different than what I normally do, like I said, and the more messy it gets, the more I like it. So I'm just continuing with that. And so now I'm kind of just referencing a layout that I did previously. I'm doing a similar layout, which is basically just these floating boxes. And this is also 8 squares wide. And I didn't even count how many squares tall it was. I just kind of arbitrarily chose like a somewhat middle part of the page and just went from there. And if you don't have a little ruler like this, I would highly recommend getting one. This one has a cork backing, and I love it because it doesn't slip around the page. And so when you're drawing your lines, the worst thing happen is when your ruler slides and your line just goes like, wah. So this is a really great little ruler, and it fits inside most bullet journals, which is nice. So right here I'm doing like a second box because I break Saturday and Sunday to be kind of on the end. I do my week starting on Monday, so usually my Saturday and Sunday are on the end. And so now I'm using, like I said, the same colors as before, and I'm using this to highlight the days of the week headers. So I'm just kind of alternating through all the colors and repeating as needed. And I really like just how vibrant some of them are. So I'm just putting in the names. Typically I'd like to use like a smaller brush pen to do these, but the space was so small that like you wouldn't be able to clearly read it. So I just used the fine tip of the dual tip brush pen. And then I'm adding in the days of the week at the bottom, just really small and simple so it doesn't take up too much space, but so it's there and I'm actually still aware of like what day of the week it is. And then I had something else envisioned for the to-do and the waiting on headers, but when I did these squares and did the inner outline, I really just liked how it came out. It almost looked like I put like a white square within it. I don't know. I like how it came out. It was very clean and simple, so I left it like that. I was going to decorate them and put floral or foliage on it, but I thought, let's just keep it simple, and that way it won't mess with the space that I have working on for actually filling out information. So instead, I thought I would just decorate the tops of each day of the week header. And so I'm doing roughly the same pattern for each one and keeping it really simple and rough and then outlining them as I've been doing. This one I was definitely kind of like a little bit messier with than the previous ones, but I really like how it came out. I think it's just kind of like artsy and fun, and it still continues that fall theme and makes me feel good. So that's it. That's the spread. That's October. Thanks so much, guys, for watching this. If you've seen the whole thing, I appreciate it. If you like what you see, please give this video a thumbs up, and be sure to subscribe if you're not already subscribed. And I hope to see you in my next video. Thanks so much.